Hello everybody, welcome back. Jade Empire walkthrough. We
out of sheer
wow, okay.
Look at this place, so many people.
We
This truly
just
is the heart of the Empire.
talked to the bounty hunter. Well, not the bounty hunter. I don't think he's technically a bounty hunter. I think he's the, I don't know if he's like the guard captain or something like that. But anyways, he's offering some bounties for 2 targets. I forget the 2 names. We went by the, as I went by that Lotus assassin again, he said something about, or she, I forget, I'm pretty sure it's a girl. But anyway, she says something like, the Scourge of the South even flooded the lands to the south. So, you know, still could be technically talking about Black Whirlwind, but I'm leaning more towards the main character. But anyways, we're about the bounties anyways. There's 2 of them right now. I believe one is for an NPC that's found in the Imperial I think it's called the Imperial Graveyard. Maybe it's just the Graveyard. I don't remember. Anyways, there's one there, and then the other one is Creative Yukong, and he is actually found in the Scholar's Garden, and we'll actually end up heading there in a little while. There's some different dialogue with the whole Creative Yukong thing, and unfortunately I didn't get all of it, I don't think. There's an NPC in the Imperial Arena that you can talk to regarding Creative Yukong, and again, I don't believe that I actually went and spoke with her. I believe her name is Lady Rento. So, you know, I didn't explore all the dialogue possible, and I apologize for that. I believe she will what's the good word here? Collaborate or corroborate with his story, one of the 2. Basically, you know, he tells you his side of the story, and that's, you know, it sounds like that's the truth. And unfortunately, the man who was robbed, Lady Rento's husband, feels like he's a, you know, some sort of criminal or something. So he doesn't seem to care, and he just wants the guy dead. So, you know, up to you, obviously, however you're deciding to go about playing the game. Close fist, open palm. I believe we're gonna let him. I think we let him go. But anyways, we'll see once we get a little bit closer. That's the oh, it's the Necropolis. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. And here's Beggar Song. I don't know that there's anything that you can get out of this, like points wise.
I come from a
what
very
I mean
wealthy
by
family.
that is I don't know if you
I
can.
have a certain lifestyle to maintain.
You can get, you know, close fist points or open palm. I'm not sure.
You understand.
I think I just didn't give him any money.
I have to have an income, don't I? My father
It's
looked
kind
at
of
my
funny.
considerable expenses and told me to get my own silver.
This guy's whole outlook on begging
Of
and
course,
why it's okay
I am
to
a
beg
noble.
and why
The
he
shame of
shouldn't get a
manual
job
labor or the
is.
stink of trade must not be allowed to touch me,
kinda-
or even
it's
walk
kinda
its way
different.
close to me.
I mean, I completely disagree with it.
How could there
but
be
whatever.
shame? You've got it and I want it. Should I steal it? Never. Simply ask like a civilized
anyways.
soul, I say.
What a load of refuse.
I am afraid I cannot do that. That would be trade, and I simply will not sully my beautifully soft hands with such. I will tell you for free, however. I read all the greatest philosophers and consulted with wise men before reaching this decision. I assure you the philosophical underpinnings are quite sound. Wisdom is only gained by experience, wine, women, and song, as it were. But a life of revel with no reflection still does not lead to true wisdom. One must ponder, one must daydream. Even if I could bear the shame of sullying my hands with work, when would I think? How could I grow wise? Well, it loses some of the subtlety when you put it that way. But yes. I thank you.
Okay.
It's not easy for
I guess I
one
did.
such as I.
I guess I
have
did
it
get
far
a
more
or give
difficult
him
than the
silver
impoverished
for
beggars
that.
of this city. Farewell.
Alright. Let's pop open this gem. Or jar, I should say.
Your parentage is below average, and your ancestry is of questionable worth. You dress yourself in the manner of a common laborer. Nobody's paying any attention.
Keep trying, just as I instructed.
Your physique seems exceptional. Clearly you are a peasant. A noble could afford sloth. Your breath is like the wind of an ox. Your last meal was of suspect quality. Your beliefs are superficial, and your culture is substandard.
You are right to demand an explanation. Forgive my servant. I instructed him to find someone not distracted by mere insults, someone who would command respect. Your demand for justification of his arguments was admirable. You are exactly what we need. An outlander strolled into the city several days ago and now sits like a cormorant taking what he wants from the river of our hospitality. He balks at our attempts to calm him and answers requests for payment with strange coins of questionable value. He needs to go. The outlander is not a dignitary or traveling merchant. He is a parody of civilized behavior. He spews insults at the emperor himself. So far, he has escaped the notice of any higher officials. Perhaps he was mistaken for an actor in a troupe, but that will not last. If he is reported, the Lotus assassins will take notice. They'll want to know if he was harbored or his offense was encouraged. Guilt by association is enough for them. That's what's so infuriating. He doesn't respond to reason. He proposes challenges we don't understand, and then declares himself the winner. Several of our brightest have faced him, but as soon as they get the better of him, he sets off his strange firework and says they are beaten. Normally, the peasants like it when we intellectuals are maligned, but they tire of his presence too. Getting rid of this nuisance will endear you to many. I hope your ability matches your conviction. Several others have fallen short, despite their outrage at his antics. He is in the Scholar's Garden, and no amount of opposition has moved him. Please, I hope you will prove to be a worthy opponent.
So, that little bit of dialogue there, that starts the Foreigner? I think it's called the Foreigner side quest, which is completely hilarious. I mean, the beginning of it already is awesome. I mean, I thought that was just a riot. Your ancestry is of questionable worth. But yeah, the Foreigner side quest is pretty neat. It's got multiple different rewards. You know, up to you on which one you pick. Once we actually complete it, I will talk about the rewards. But that is a discussion for a little bit later. All kinds of scroll stands around here, though. I like free experience. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's it, though. I don't think there's any like other pots. Yeah, it looks like we're right back to the start area. And later on, there's going to be another side quest up here to the left. Actually, there's a main quest right here at the hostel. Hostel. And I think we got a jar here. Yep, there's a jar that we can interact with. 100 silver, not too bad. That will, you can't get in there until a little bit later, until the main quest actually opens up.
The busy
and then
streets
here
are almost
is
overwhelming.
there's another
It's
side
hard to keep
quest,
focused on what
something
we
like
need to
the
do.
play as the thing or something like that. And that's kind of an interesting little side quest too. It's kind of I don't know. I've never fully explored all the different outcomes, so I kind of wonder about that. But all right, coming up here, we're right as we enter the entrance to the Scholar's Garden. We will have our meeting with the princess, and I think. I'm trying to remember if this is where the dialogue first starts, where you can start the romance, or if it's the subsequent one when you talk to her right after, but we'll see.
I didn't expect you in your strange training to make it to the Imperial City. You are proving to be a very interesting person. Of course, I could tell that just by looking at you. You have a very strong presence. As the Heavenly Lily, I am above suspicion, but I am restrained by fawning servants. Silk Fox can go anywhere, and people are not shy about their reactions. There is a thrill, of course, and it allows me to find information useful to us both. Death's Hand brought your Master Li to the palace a few days ago. I saw the flyer. He was bound in chains. He must be powerful, or you are. There was something familiar about him as well. Why would you say that? Is that what he told you? I'm sorry, but I simply cannot believe that your Master Li is the glorious strategist. Sun Li died 20 years ago. Everyone was told that he and Prince Qin, the third brother, fell defending the Empire. Now, it seems they may have been traitors. I discovered this looking through records for information on Death's Hand. Perhaps he tried to influence Sun Li and Sun Qin before corrupting my father. But it doesn't matter who your master is. I could take you to the palace, but Death's Hand controls what my father hears. He must be discredited for you to succeed. Death's Hand has almost total control over my father. We must find conclusive evidence of his crimes and reveal his corruption. And I know how. Construction on the wall has stopped for the first time in generations. The workers now toil in factories building powerful creatures of stone and clay called golems. Death's Hand could use these automatons to seize the Empire, and my father is oblivious. We must infiltrate the Lotus Assassins and find evidence of this treachery. We need proof of Death's Hand's intent from the seat of his power, the Lotus Assassin Fortress. It would be impossible to assault, so just walk in. They are Have any Lotus Assassins who saw your face lived to report back? I doubt it. They will not recognize you as the person who fought them in Tian's Landing. They have a vague description full of guesswork that has guards holding people at random. Besides, they expect an attack, not someone trying to catch their eye. I would wager that you may profit from their tasks too. Can you see the beauty in using their own methods of recruitment to fight them? I think they deserve it. There are guilds within the Lotus Assassins. Executioners look for fearsome warriors. Inquisitors are more subversive, and they look for cunning in their agents. If you prove yourself in the arena, they will notice you. My people can spread rumors of your interest. The Executioner will take a real interest when you finish the silver round. Or if you prefer, the Inquisitor recruiter is also seeking new people. He might be open to persuasion. Death's Hand rules over the Lotus Assassins, so I take special interest in their activities. I've had most of my life to ask questions. You suspect my motives? You have no reason to doubt me. If I wanted the Lotus Assassins to find you, I could simply tell them your name. Yes, I will have my people spread rumors of your interest. Once you pass the silver round, the Executioner will take an interest. I'm sure he will find you as impressive as I do. Or, if you prefer, court the Inquisitor. Ask Scholar Dongao in the Scholar's Garden about him. I hear Dongao is closer to the assassins than he should be. I will wait at your flyer. Or I could travel with you. Before you get too lost, perhaps we should, discuss how closely we will be working together? A wise preference. No offense intended to your amusing companions.
All right, so mostly business. Obviously, she's, you know, not pressuring. She's just suggesting that we either join the Executioners or the Inquisitors. I'm going to end up doing both because you get more experience that way. And then here, I think there should be a little scene coming up, and then we'll do some character development slash, oh, I guess, like romance starting, I guess. Starting the ball rolling on the romance.
Well, look who we have here. There's no princess to save you this time.
Do you think we'd forget? You can't humiliate us and just walk away.
Don't look at me. I can't do anything right now. Not like this.
We'll teach you to insult a guard of the Imperial City.
Leaping Tiger.
So that was pretty awesome timing. Obviously, the princess literally just joined, told her to stay with, and then you guys come up and they're like, oh, well, you don't have the princess to protect you this time. You know, obviously, Princess Leon can't reveal herself as the Silk Fox, or won't. Maybe either. Here, man, I'm just getting destroyed here. Let's get our stuff together. I remember, so, as I've been playing this, one of the things I noticed, and I don't know if it was just because I was playing with a 360 controller, but I had a lot of problems switching between stances. Like, I would hit one of the buttons and it wouldn't end up, you know, being quite right. So, like, I'd hit down instead of left, you know, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Not real sure, but okay, I guess we're not gonna do any character development with Silk Fox yet. Oh, maybe right here. I can't imagine I waited.
Hello
there
again.
We go.
I enjoy our little chats, but I don't think anything has changed since we last spoke. I still need evidence against Death's Hand to free my father. Meet the Executioner in the arena, or speak with Scholar Dongao in the Scholar's Garden about the Inquisitor. Hurry, or you'll lose your chance to help your master. Did you like it? I thought you might want a little assistance. Consider it a small token of my favor. I thank you for your courtesy. A woman always likes to hear when her gifts are appreciated. It is difficult for one of my rank to give gifts, even one so simple as what I gave you. A princess is not normally allowed to show favorites. Better that I give it away before Death's Hand carts it off. He has been quite brazen. Besides, it was mine by birthright to do with as I wish. Must I always be dictated to by tradition, despite my respect for it? Sometimes I want what everyone else has, to be myself. And to be myself, I gave you what I wished. Well, you're polite at least. Most nobles take gifts as a matter of course, especially those from a woman. But the price I may pay for helping you could be greater still. I am destined for the throne, destined to rule the Empire after my father, but that will be meaningless if Death's Hand keeps his hold on my father's mind. I fear one day he may try to interfere with the Imperial succession. Or perhaps convince my father that he should be Emperor by marriage. You forget yourself. You should not try so hard to flatter a princess. The attentions of royalty have their own price. In any case, I would never allow Death's Hand such liberty. I would bite my own tongue before allowing that man to touch me. I'm sorry, I've ruined the mood. We should continue our talk another time. First, we must expose Death's Hand, reveal his treachery and manipulation. I will answer what I can, but you have other things to do as well. My father? What do you want to know that isn't already public knowledge? Emperor Sunhai is well known and well loved. Death's Hand is wearing away at that reputation, however, and I need to stop him before it goes too far. He has been present for as long as I can remember, but he only rose to prominence after the end of the long drought. My father was very caring when I was a child. Now he is cold and distant. I know Death's Hand is corrupting him somehow. I wish you luck. Once you have gained the trust of the Lotus Assassins, we will plan how to proceed.
Alright, so that's pretty much the dialogue if you want to start the romance with Silk Fox. Basically, talk to her first about a gift.
I like to think that we can take time to talk
and then,
about
you know, continue from there.
important things.
And I guess just never be too harsh with her, I guess. And I think you have to avoid
for her help,
saying that her
here is causing me some concern.
father is weak, and then here immediately after you can speak with Dawnstar and basically continue on her romance too.
To you, perhaps, but not to me. I think I am perceived as a rival, but no one has told me what the game is. The princess, the daughter of the Emperor, is jealous of me? I think the size of our task has addled your senses. What could I possibly have that would make her jealous? What does a woman from the borderlands have that the princess herself does not? Well, that is just foolish, isn't it? You have always been a good friend to me, but I never meant... I mean, I couldn't... No, I should have more control over this. This is too uncertain. You can't manipulate me into admitting something like this. Not when you can leave whenever you want. I prefer to have more control over myself, and as much control over what goes on around me as possible. Silk Fox, or whatever she wants to be called, is an unknown I can't compensate for. I can't stay in balance if I don't know what she represents. You and I, we talk and share thoughts, but she forces me to consider where that might lead, both good and bad. I'm not ready for that. You dare! Oh, you tease so much, I don't know what to do with you. You have become so different since we left Two Rivers. Or perhaps it is me. For all the trouble we face, I feel like a weight is lifting. I think we will have a great deal more to discuss in the coming days. I'm looking forward to it. Until then, thank you for being so understanding. Master Li was right. You are special. Don't go too far. I'd get lost in this city. I know it.
Alright, so rival for the main character's affection. Obviously, Dawnstar,
welcome, friend. The lecture won't be starting for a little while, though your enthusiasm is appreciated.
Thinks of the main character as more of a friend.
I wouldn't worry about seating. Those interfering philosophers.
And here is Scholar
Donghao.
And all you have to do really is speak with him about
Certainly.
the Inquisitor
we
Recruiter.
Can't learn without asking questions. How can I help you today?
And that's really only this. Or this guy's only.
That's quite Quite a question. I'm not sure who told you, but I'd appreciate
Although I guess
if you
he
would
does
keep your
have a
voice
couple
down
of
when asking
really
those kinds
funny
of questions.
theories.
Nobody here suspects me
So
to be anything but an
after
overzealous
you
scholar,
talk to him
and I'd like
about
to
the
keep it that
Inquisitor
way.
recruiter,
So you want
always
to know about
for
the
sure
recruiter?
talk to him about
You have a flying
the other
machine, do you
dialogue
not?
and stuff. It's
Yes, I know
actually
about
pretty
that.
funny.
Go back to the landing area and someone will meet you there. He already knows, I'm sure. Now go, and I will not speak to you about this any further.
Well, we got what we wanted. I just hope you know what you're getting into. We should head back to the Dragonfly and let the others know what's happening.
Yes? I like to think that we can take time to talk about important things. That is not really necessary right now. We just have to keep going. Don't...
Oh, good to see you again, my friend. Have you returned to listen to my lecture, or would you just like some information? Certainly. We can't learn without asking questions. How can I help you today? Don't let the name fool you. There are fewer scholars here than you might think. We are far outnumbered by those obstinate philosophers. The philosophers believe that the gods dictate everything, from the rising of the sun to the changing seasons. If the summer ends too soon or too late, the gods must be angry. Of course, anyone who cares to look can see that the birds control the weather. I have noted with some accuracy that the birds predict the seasons. I have a theory that the massive movements of birds in the autumn and spring actually cause the prevailing winds to change direction. When birds fly south just before autumn, they cause the winds to change. And we get cold air from the north until the spring, when the birds reverse the winds again. It's really quite simple, but just try telling that to one of the philosophers. Don't get me wrong, I like most of the philosophers, but their strict adherence to aging traditions makes them very difficult to deal with. They're always preaching about peace and harmony. Really, we kill and subdue the creatures of this world in order that we can survive. Where's the peace in that? Can a man survive long enough without eating meat? What about the grains we use to make our bread, or the hides we use for any number of things? We consume constantly. Peace and harmony are wonderful ideals, but in nature only the strong survive, and they don't do it by being peaceful. I'm glad you asked. Today I will speak on my theories of cloud formation. That was my first major discovery, though it hasn't been widely accepted yet. The basic principles are really quite simple. I deduced after lengthy study that clouds are formed by the moisture escaping from our bodies. When the weather is cool, you can clearly see small clouds escaping from people's mouths. Similar clouds form on the skin of people working strenuously in the cold. These clouds of breath rise up and collect near the tallest peaks, where it is almost always cloudy. This was one of my finest discoveries. Oh, so soon. All right then. I hope to see you again soon. Perhaps I could explain to you my theories on the formation of ice crystals.
Do not be fooled by those who would tell you is the key to true enlightenment.
Alrighty, what else do we have in here? Scroll stand, scholar's hypothesis. It's pretty. Boy, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, free experience here with the scroll stand. I think this is the whole mantra of the scholar's garden right there. And there's not a whole lot to do right here, but there is the, okay, we got a couple of, I know there's a couple of book stands, and I believe I actually missed one on my first trip through. I think there is a total of, okay, so we had the scroll stand there. I think that was the scroll stand, or was it a book stand? Pretty sure it was a scroll stand. Anyways, and then there's this one, and then there's one directly across from this. There you go, there's another book stand. And then there's one back behind all the scholars. so you can see, or maybe you can't see it. Probably not a very good shot here. I think I keep my distance fairly well. But once we get a little closer, I'll show you. And here, so, boy, I just missed what that said. That's basically about the drought and how the Emperor ended it. Although not going into much detail. Oh, wow, there's a scroll stand here too. Okay, so there's like a total of, what would that be, like 5, maybe even 6 scroll stands here? Yeah, probably at least 6, because then there's this scroll stand right at the very entrance too.
But I noticed your arrival earlier while I was at the tavern.
That's quite a bit for one area.
That flying machine of yours is truly a
this scholar doesn't have much to say.
Prototype flyer, and
Nothing much important to say anyway.
The other scholars aren't interested in my inventions,
though. He gives you some detail.
Me? You want to ask me something? Well, sure, I'd be glad to help you if I can. What would you like to know? Oh, I'm Scholar Zenyu. I'm one of the newer scholar elites. I was actually born in the poor quarter, but my uncle brought me here when I was only 10. He knew I would never have a chance at a real life unless I had some proper schooling. I've lived here with him ever since. That's right, you're new here, aren't you? Well, where should I begin? There's so much to tell you. There are several important areas here in the city. Of course, there are also many different services, too. I'm not sure what to tell you first. Sure. Well, let's see. This place is the Scholars' Garden. For the most part, only stuffy old philosophers and scholars reside here. Farther down toward the city, you'll find the Golden Way. Many wealthy people live and work there. Hopefully some willing to fund one of my inventions. Then there's the Market District, near where you landed earlier. Most of the city does its business there. It's an interesting place. At least, I think so. You'll also find the path to the Black Leopard School there, across the river from the arena. I haven't been there, but I hear it's an interesting place to visit. One of the best places in the city is the arena. Just don't tell my masters I said so. If you go to the arena, you'll also see the heart of the Empire Tavern. And of course, there are several shops and merchants with all manner of supplies available. All of that can be found in the Market District. I'm not supposed to go there. At least not when I'm studying, but it's hard to resist. It's known as the best tavern in all the Empire. I actually do some of my best thinking while I'm there. I like to sit in the upper rooms with a bit of wine and just look out over the city, or the arena. Of course. What do you want to know? Sure. What would you like to know? A city like this always has rumors. Some people say the ghosts are angry and attacking innocent people. Another rumor suggests the Emperor is dying. But I wouldn't believe any of that. Just because the Emperor hasn't been seen in a while doesn't mean he's ill. Perhaps he just wants some solitude. The Emperor is a wise and powerful man. How else could he have solved the drought so many years ago? I wasn't born then, but I've heard the stories. It's true that he hasn't been seen much recently, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. It's not like the Empire is falling apart in his absence. Maybe he's just taking a rest from all the hard work he's done. Nobody deserves a rest more than the Emperor. I think they are just rumors. I haven't seen any ghosts at all, angry or otherwise. If the ghosts are angry about something, why aren't they here right now? Come to think of it, I don't know any one person who's ever seen a ghost. I prefer to spend my time and energy on things that are real. Designing a new prototype flying machine, now that's important. All right then, goodbye.
Osansiasono go boko. Koni uk noia kup sa ia sisia su ukot. Pakeni wa kawane ya. Awuth utkuo. Wasrafno sositu no ko ota. Wo kupketita sumpono. Sathwa kawi ia. Woso awi ia ni tu uksump. Kutkosi wiwa ya. Wo nawa ya. Ifo wiya okta wiki. Koni uk noea kup sa ia. O ifo ia uk sonko. Ni wupa ia kupu sa ia. Awath kraka ia. Nano uksaro iso wakni. Awath utkua wo kokopia kawa ia ewo. Wakawe ya tanke ya nano wo ia wasonak. Uksa iespithuki ukoniero thakno. Kawa ia a ithino nahipi no feitea. Yo we a sonsi ya wo yo.
Philosopher Sendao there, if you're playing Close Fist,
and
there's
welcome
actually
to
a way
the
you can
Scholars Garden.
intimidate him into
I
like,
am
giving you some
Philosopher
money,
Xiao,
and then he'll never
one of
speak
the
to
many
you again.
masters
It's
you will see here
pretty
during your
messed up.
visit. I see by your accoutrements that you are not from the Imperial City. I hope your visit here is one of fulfillment and success. As sagacious Tien once said, more valuable than silk are new friends in a foreign land. If you need anything, I will be glad to assist you. As sagacious Tien once said, kind words and respectable attire are seldom a sign of true character. Only deeds reveal the intent of the soul. I am glad to help you in any way I can. I am honored that you would ask me, though I must warn you, the teachings take a lifetime to learn and cannot be taught in a day. Perhaps I could explain the core principles of Tien's teachings. I could recite the history of Tien if you like. The teachings of sagacious Tien are very simple, but the implications are astoundingly complex. At the heart of the teachings are the concepts of harmony and discord. Also referred to as the way of the open palm and the way of the fist, one cannot exist without the other, but neither can they coexist in one person. Harmony with the world comes from understanding your place in the world. An ant that believes it is a tiger will never achieve harmony. In other words, accepting your place in the world and using your skills accordingly is the optimal way of following the path of harmony. Discord is the other side of the coin. People who choose the path of discord seek their own advancement over everything else. These people will ignore the world and use whatever means necessary to raise themselves above their station. Sagacious Tien taught both harmony and discord to his students, for one cannot be fully known without the other. However, he himself followed the way of harmony. Sagacious Tien was the first emperor of the Jade Empire. He was a philosopher and a leader without compare, unifying the warring factions of his time. His teachings founded this great empire, though there was very little written about Tien himself. We do know that he brought peace to the people of the empire, and since that time, his teachings have guided hundreds of generations of followers.
All right, so I'm going to actually cut it here.
course.
So like, comment,
What would you
subscribe,
like to
whatever
know?
you guys want to do. Hope you guys are helpful, though. Hope you are liking them, and hope you join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.
As you wish. With luck, the winds of heaven will bring us together again one day. Farewell.